Hello again, welcome back everyone. Liquorhound here with you. Thank you for joining me once again for another spirit review video. And today we're going to be taking a look at a couple of rums that are fairly new to the marketplace, known as the Papa's Pilar rums. Now, Papa's Pilar, the whole name, the moniker kind of goes back to Ernest Hemingway and how he was known as Papa. The Pilar was actually his fishing boat, which was also the name of his second wife. Okay, so hence Papa's Pilar. The other thing to note, beautiful shape on the bottle. The bottle was probably very, very expensive to produce. It is a canteen style bottle because Ernest Hemingway was an ambulance driver in World War I. And so he they kind of modeled this after that. On the top there's a compass just as there would have been on those old canteens. Pretty unique little cap. It is a screw-on cap, but it has a nice little chain on it. So you don't ever have to worry about losing the cap or anything like that. I like it. It actually is a really nice looking presentation. The only thing I don't like is they don't pour particularly well. You kind of have to do a little quick pour. You can't slowly dribble it out because it will go down the bottle. But other than that, let's talk about the rum that's inside. The rums that are inside, according to the bottle, actually come from Central America, the Caribbean, and the US of A. So you're like, okay, well, what does that mean? So I dug a little deeper and I kind of found someone that said that they were using rums from the Dominican Republic, Panama, Barbados, and Florida. Okay, and right now I believe they are in the process of moving the bottling from Kentucky to Florida. But anyway, so that's where the rums are coming from. As far as how they're distilled, for the blonde it's strictly column distillation. For the dark they're using a mix of column and pot still distillation. Alright, okay, now last but not least, the maturation process for these rums. Very, very unique because not only are they using the traditional ex-bourbon cask matured rums, but they are also then taking some of that rum, putting it in port wine barrels, and they're maturing it in port wine barrels, and they kind of blend those two together and do a final maturation in a sherry cask before being bottled as the blonde here or as the dark here. All right. Now, of course, with rums, you got to be careful going by color because they do use coloring in these. But, you know, color is never going to mask a bad rum. So if I nose it and it noses bad or if it tastes bad, I'll know it regardless of the color of the rum. So that's why we're going to do this right now as far as the nosing. Starting with the blonde, 84 proof, by the way, retailing roughly around $30, $35 for this one. On the nose, oh, wow. Lots of vanilla beans, lots of orange peels, verging on orange liqueur. There are some berries in here, but man, it's tough to find them because that vanilla and that orange aspect is just right up on top of everything. Cinnamon, some clove in this one, but a lot of citrus, a lot of that vanilla. Okay, going to the dark, on the nose. This one's 86 proof, by the way, running roughly around $40 for this one. Very sweet. This one's just aromatically is much sweeter than the blonde. Lots of molasses, lots of almost brown sugar on this one. Caramel. Let's make that caramel. The cinnamon and clove that you're finding in here is in here, but it's a little more in the background, a little more covered up because that caramel, that molasses is just so big up front. Vanilla is still in here. Searching for that citrus. Not finding it. If it is, it's like an orange liqueur now, so not really orange peels anymore, or orange zest as I was kind of getting in this one. This one's almost just orange liqueur mixed in. Fruits, pretty fruity. I would say it is a lot of plums, dark cherries. But wow, a lot of vanilla, cinnamon, clove, again, are for the spice notes. So I can see the similarities, but this one definitely is a sweeter style on the nose. Let's go ahead and get to the palate now, onto the blonde. 84 proof. Wow, nice, medium viscosity. Very, very easy to drink. Not too sweet. Not overly complex, but wow, I mean, it's rather enjoyable. With the vanilla, with that citrus. Again, to me, it's orange peels. It's not nothing too heavy or bitter like a grapefruit. It's just cinnamon and clove ramping up, adding that spice on that mid palate. Vanilla bean driving through. Fruits on the back end. That's where I actually find the sherry influence, and don't really see too much port wine influence on this one. But I can pick up the sherry fruits, mainly on the back end. But again, a lot of vanilla just kind of railroading over the top, and that citrus as well. But again, very nice, easy to drink rum. Wow, you got to be careful with that one. You might get carried away. Okay, on to the dark. Just as it knows. Wow. It starts and you're like, wow, this is a dark rum. You're getting the molasses character, the caramel, almost burnt caramel, because I'm getting a little bit of the char in here as well. But just as I'm thinking it's char, I actually start getting almost like a bitter chocolate right there on the top of the mid palate, which is making me think maybe it was just the bitterness of the chocolate, like a dark chocolate, that was kind of intermingling with the dark molasses, the burnt caramel, kind of giving me a charred feel right there on the front. Now as it rolls over on the mid palate, that's where the cinnamon and clove, of course, are coming in, but also a lot more fruits on this one. More complexity to this one. Let's see. Yeah, okay, because when you get that mid palate, some plums are in there, and then I'm getting those sherried, I would call it plums, black cherries, maybe some mixed red berries like raspberries in there as well. But they're so covered up because, again, molasses, burnt caramel, char, kind of dark chocolate just kind of rolling throughout. That vanilla is in there as well. Matter of fact, that starts showing up a little more past the mid palate onto the finish. Once those big flavors kind of start relaxing, that's where you get a little more of that vanilla character lingering with the fruits on the back end. Now, as far as which one's more enjoyable to me, I might actually lean towards the blonde, just because I could see mixing this one, working cocktails on this one really, really nicely and easily. This one, not quite as easily to mix. It is a sipper, but then again, so is that blonde. To me, I don't think you could go wrong with either. For the price point, you should probably add both. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching once again, and everybody have a great evening, and cheers.